really do. Yeah, ABA, yeah, I think she like that name. Matter of fact, I know she do. See green like the light done change. Texting all day and night. She play them typing games. See me, I don't do that shit. Get up.
What's good? Candy Cane gang. It's your girl Kane. What's good, y'all? What's poppin'? What's cracking? How you doing? How you been? It's another story time. So y'all, this story time is a little bit different. This is a subscriber story time. It's not a tea time. It's a spooky story time. None of the names used in this story time belongs to any of these people. The names are being changed to protect their privacy. The names are being changed to protect the privacy of the trifling and not the innocent. There's nobody trifling in this story time, okay? So we have a KKG family member, my sis Kat. She sent in her story time to my email. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this story time to y'all. Before I do that, to the new viewers, not the subscribers, but to the new viewers, since you're new here, this is a transparent channel and this is a non-judgmental channel. Just because you did not experience it doesn't mean that it didn't or can't happen. So let's get into this story. So my dad and my family live in South Carolina and Savannah, and they are the Gullah Geechee people. Me and my sister T decided we were going to ride down there one weekend, coming from our state, which is Kentucky. And Kentucky is about a 10-hour stretch. We left Louisville around 2 p.m. I remember her being kind of pissed off because she wanted to be on the road by 8 a.m. But I was running late for some reason. So we rode out of Louisville, riding about a good 9 hours. We had no problems. Everything was copacetic. We vibing, the music is on, and now it's about 2:30 a.m. We made about 3 to 4 stops along the way to get gas, stretch our legs, eat, and switch drivers. After the last gas fill up, we were happy because we were tired as fuck and just were ready to get there and get to this hotel. The rental has a GPS, of course. Her GPS is set and also mine. So that means we have 3 GPS systems going simultaneously. We also took the Watterson Expressway, which is the longer route, instead of I-65, like my dad said, to go through Atlanta and to get there quicker. We should have listened. Now y'all already know. Just like Big Kane, when we don't listen, it be some bullshit, right? So like I said, it's around 2:30 a.m. now, and we are nearing an exit that ain't ours. Before we get up on this exit, my phone GPS signal goes out. I look at her and she looks at me because her phone completely died. So now we both like, what the fuck? The car GPS tells us to get off at this next exit. I'm like,
yo, I don't remember this from last time.
She's like,
me either, but it's saying that this is the exit.
now mind you, they was doing construction work, so we thinking this is a detour. We had forgotten about our phones, GPS for a second. Also, before we came up on this exit, there was plenty of traffic because it's a Friday. It's a Friday night. But when we got up to this exit, it wasn't a car in sight. It's like we was in a fog, a daze or something. But when we got off this exit, it's a ghost town. It's not a human, not an animal, not a nothing. We make a right turn, go down and make another right. The car GPS is going completely haywire. And then it's quiet. No movement, no Siri voice, no nothing. We go down this 2-way road. The only light is from our headlights. I'm trying to call my family members and still no signal. Her phone is completely dead. She has it plugged into the charger and it's still on 0, y'all. And it won't turn on. That's crazy. We come to the end of this road and it turns into a 4-way stop. There's a huge church sitting on the corner. This church was massively tall. What made it even creepier was that the church was sitting almost directly on the sidewalk. A church that size would have a grass yard and some steps or something. This church sat and was sitting so close, it's like you could just reach your hand out the car and touch it. By this time, the panic is beginning to set in with my sister. I was still in the
what in the actual is this
moment. We turned right again. There's a street light at the next corner. Mind you, there's literally nothing on these streets. So far, it's just that massive church. Grass fields and trees, no highway signs in sight. I have the window cracked and I listen outside. It's so quiet we heard the street light click when it changed. The only way is to go right again. Then another right. We are literally riding in a circle. We end up back at the church. And now she's panicking. I'm still trying to be cool. I'm the little big sister. And I'm always trying to be hard. I'm like,
I'm not scared.
I'm not scared at all. I know that's what you were saying, Kat. But I was fucking terrified. I didn't want her to see me afraid. One of us had to be calm. This time I'm screaming to her to go faster and to turn at that light. We do the exact same thing again. Only this time we end up on an even darker road. Why didn't we turn around and go back the opposite way? Because this road was so narrow. If we had tried, we would have ended up in those ditches that lined this one. Trees and ditches surrounded us. So now she's full on panicking. I'm smacking my phone, trying to restart it. She's hitting the dashboard and her phone. We are crashing the fuck out by now, okay? T taps me on the shoulder. She's like,
Dude, look at the gas hand.
I watched my sister's eyes go as big as saucers. She then simply pointed to the gas hand, and as sure as shit stinks, the motherfucker was on E. We had literally just filled this car up. I'm telling her,
Just keep going. Just keep going. Just go.
in a very low voice, almost a whisper. We tried the OnStar button and nothing. My phone call goes through, but still we don't have no working GPS. This call is to my other sister in South Carolina. I have 3 sisters on my dad's side and 1 on my mom's side. Now, I'm screaming through the phone at my other sister. Let's call her Tia. Shout out to all the Tias. I'm telling her the situation and her boyfriend, let's call him Deke. He's also beside her trying to guide us as well. We come to the end of this road and there's a sign, the one with the arrows that simply go left or right. I'm panicking and I scream,
Go left. Fuck that.
my sister Tia and her boyfriend on the phone screaming as well. T is completely silent. Her eyes are still wide. I tell her,
Here, take the phone and continue to talk to Deke and Tia while I try to get this car GPS back on.
but it was a waste of fucking time. All the devices seemed to be fried except my Android, and even that GPS wasn't working. So we go left, and this little road is very short and slightly curved. We come to the end of it, and another fucking sign.
Oh my God, bruh.
Everybody's screaming.
Go left. Go right. Turn around.
Tia and Deke start arguing. My other sister T looks like she's seen a ghost. But I'm terrified. I'm trying to stay level-headed. This is a real-life nightmare. I'm thinking at any moment this car's gonna stop. We ride it on fumes at this point. My sister Tia begins to crash out because she's upset and worried. I'm also the little sister to her on my dad's side. She's the oldest girl as well. If y'all are confused, let me sum it up. Tia is my big sister in the car with me. She and I have the same mom. Then Tia and my big sister on the phone, and I have the same dad. Alright, back to the story. So we make another left turn. At this point, it's complete chaos. Also, my big sister Tia was drinking, so she's extra emotional. We know how that is. So we go left, y'all. This road had a dim light coming from the right side. I was praying it was a highway on a ramp, but the trees are still lining both sides of the road. Deke is trying to find our location according to the landmarks that I'm giving him. They have no idea where we are. I tell them,
Call the police and get us some help, please.
they both go,
No, we gonna get y'all out of there.
I found out later that they thought that we were possibly in a sundown town, and that's why they didn't want to call the police. It probably would have ended worse for us. We get closer to this dim light, and the trees begin to open up. It's now just a road with grassy fields on both sides. But that light was from a small church that sat back up off the road. We're still an hour away from South Carolina. Tia and Deke tell us they're coming to find us. T starts slowing down and looking out the window. She says,
Cheetah, what the fuck is that?
I stretch my neck around her head to see what she sees. I had to mentally prepare myself for this part of the story, y'all. This part of the story still haunts me and my sister T to this very day. Me and my sister T are extremely close. They call us twins though, even though she's 3 years older than me. That's my homegirl for life. I'd lay down for her and vice versa. And this night I was prepared to do just that. Because I'd be damned if anything was going to hurt my sister. We was going out fighting, and that's facts. I think she knew we were fucked, And she knew that I knew too. My sister had always protected me, and I'm the hothead. But this was different. The fear in her eyes I had never seen before. And the fact that we couldn't get out of whatever or wherever we were had us both in a sense of absolute dread and doom. When I looked over my sister's shoulder and out that window and I saw what I saw, I began to beg God.
Please get us out of here.
What we saw first was a cemetery, what looked to be an old run-down cemetery at that. But these headstones weren't normal. Beautiful memorials marking a person who once was in this life. Even in the purest, almost purple-looking darkness, we could make out the grotesque shape of these so-called monuments. The ones towards the front seemed to stand proudly in some sort of sick, twisted honor, as if someone or something had molded a sculpture of what you see in a nightmare or a horror film. What seemed to be an owl or a vulture stood on top of the front one, as if it was frozen in hell, but stood as a final warning to the damned. Directly next to this cemetery was an old house, like something built in the early 1940s. A rundown shack with no essence, no sign of life or no happiness about it. Just evil, pure unfiltered evil. And just when I thought we was going to go into cardiac arrest from fear, we see a man on that porch, sitting in an old chair in an old mechanic suit, sort of like Gomer Pyle wore. His face was the color gray. Even in the dark, we could see his facial expressions. And there was nothing there. I swear to anyone who believes us, there was nothing there. No smile, no soul, just emptiness. But still evil. It wasn't like Michael Myers, nothing like that. He was unalive. I can't say the other word. And not a person on earth can change my mind about it. Or my sisters. He was here from whatever dimension wouldn't have him back in that place where he probably wreaked havoc in life. Staring straight ahead into the abyss, but somehow at us too. She drove past him and a black metal gate stood at the end of a very long driveway of, I guess, another house, because we couldn't see the house. The sign written in red letters said, "Do not enter. Turn back." At that moment, she actually backed up. I told her,
Hurry up and pull into that small church.
that sat across from the cemetery in that house,
That unalive man still staring at her.
but never once moved his head. She pulled in quickly, and this is when I made a mistake that could have cost us. But one of us had to get out to make the switch. We were in a small vehicle, and we're both kind of thick. So no way we could have crossed over each other without someone getting out. It was dumb, yes. We should have found a way. It had to be God holding on to us. So me, the hothead, was the brave but stupid one who stepped out of the car to run to the driver's side. And in that small window of time, I knew we had to get the fuck out of there now. I stepped out of that car in that church parking lot, and I shouldn't have looked down, but I did, because what I felt under my feet wasn't concrete, dirt or blacktop. It felt like foam, like the play mats that are on the ground for kids at the playground. It was soft and mushy, and it was a weird color of mustard mixed with a brown and green. I can't describe it because it was like the color wasn't even a real color. Like that color didn't belong in our world. I burnt out that parking lot and went back left, past the cemetery, leaving whatever that was in our rear view. I refused to look at that gas head. I just kept going. We had to be riding on fucking air.
What the fuck? Tia and Deke is calling.
I'm telling T to answer, but she's completely out of it. Mentally checked out, but she's still there with me to speak. They again are hollering through the phone, and my sister is just silent, staring straight. We come back yet to another fucking sign.
Left or right?
I take the phone and I tell my other sister.
Tia, I'm calling the police. We lost and we in danger.
She screams again.
Don't.
Deke gets on the phone and all, but begs me not to call them, but to just keep riding that circle slow. They on their way. I'm telling them.
Y'all don't even know where we at.
By this time, I'm frightened. I'm angry. I'm confused. My sister is in some sort of catonic state. We have no GPS at all. No OnStar. We riding on basically air. There's an unalive dude in a mechanic suit on a porch. That ground isn't real.
Like we are in the fucking Twilight Zone, bruh. And you don't want me to call the authorities?
Again, I later found out why. I make a quick decision to turn right again. Back to the road with the trees and the ditches. Finally, my sister says something.
Turn around.
She starts repeating these two words like a haunting chant.
Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around.
She starts saying it faster and now I'm in full panic mode. They arguing and still screaming on the phone, and she's chanting these words.
Like, what the fuck?
I start praying again.
God, please, I need you to take this wheel. Please. I can't turn around on this narrow-ass road.
I'm screaming at her now. She looks at me and says,
Keita, turn this car around and go now.
with everything I had left in me, I tightened up, cracked my knuckles, took the deepest breath I've ever taken, and did exactly what my big sister ordered me to do. She was the commander-in-chief, and I was the soldier. She was the big sister, and I was the little sister. Following my sister's command in that moment, I heard my mama's voice saying, do what your sister's telling you to do. Stick together, fight together, side by side. But right now, you follow orders. I did just that. She came out of that state she was in and began guiding me. I slowly reversed and cut the wheel. Forward, reverse, reverse again. Until I got that car to turn the fuck around. Then she said, go! And with that needle laying snugly on E, I stepped on that pedal because our lives depended on it. No longer listening to them on the phone, no talking, no shuffling around, just straight business. Silence is so loud, and that's a fact. We saw bright headlights ahead, and the closer they got, the brighter they got. It was a truck. My sis T says,
just keep going, don't look at it.
As blinding as it was, I soldiered on, my hands trembling and tears rolling down my face. My sister kept saying,
you got this, we good, little sis.
And that's when I saw the most beautiful thing I've seen on this trip. A highway and a motherfucking ramp sign. I pushed and pushed as if I were actually physically dragging this brand new vehicle up that ramp. As if it didn't want us to get on. We quickly disappeared into the night traffic. It was around 4 a.m. by now. I took another deep breath, looked at the gas hand, and it was a little over a half a tank. Around 10 minutes later, the car GPS, my sister's iPhone, and my GPS turned back on, as if it never went off. What the fuck? When we got to a well-lit area where drive-thru was wrapped around the building and music systems played loud from people leaving the clubs still turned up, we called my other sister and gave them our location. We were now just about a half hour away. They told us to stay put. They were on their way to us. We got out, went to the restroom, placed our orders, and sat at the table in McDonald's. I asked her what she thought that was at the end of the road. She said some type of monster, a wizard-looking beast. Nothing but pure evil, but not at the end of the road. She said it was behind the sign we saw that on that gate. She said she had blacked out a couple of times and didn't remember even turning off the highway. She said sometimes she needs to lead and I need to follow her. And sometimes I need to lead and she needs to follow me. And sometimes we have to do it together. This time she needed to give an executive order. But it had to be me to drive us up out of there. Because in that moment I was the one who could. And no matter how scared she may be, she always gonna find a way to protect me. My sister could no longer drive that car in her panicked state. But shook herself back enough to help us get away. She kept what she saw behind those gates to herself so she wouldn't scare me any further. Because she knew I had to be the brave one in the moment to drive that car. It was maybe an hour later when my sister Tia and Deke finally got met up with us. Deke searched the car, under the hood, the interior. Tia checked me and Tia out for physical injuries. After assuming that we were straight, Tia took the wheel. Tia and Deke followed us bumper to bumper. We checked into our hotel and they stayed there with us that night and that morning. The next day we slept until about 6 p.m. My dad had called. He was mad. Nobody told him that we didn't call him. Deke had told my brother what happened, and of course my brother told my dad. So we stayed in for the rest of that night. So later that night, my other siblings all came and we all kicked it. When the situation was brought back up, everybody had these weird expressions on their face. I'm asking them to look up on Google Maps for that exit marker so I could see what the hell that place was. My brother said,
sis, just let it go.
I'm like,
Why, Wigga? I want to know.
They all got quiet. He pulled his laptop over to me and he said,
Little sis, that exit ain't on the map. It doesn't exist.
we were somewhere in Charleston, South Carolina, and all that showed up on his map were bodies of water. He believes wherever we were, if we would have kept going deeper, was leading us straight to the water. My sister and Deke said we may have been in a sundown town, and that truck flickering its lights was trying to get us to stop. My uncle said headlights flickering down there is a heads up from other drivers that cops are nearby. So many theories. Still, nobody could find that exit anywhere online. It didn't exist. The sundown town theory? Maybe. I don't know, but I do know this. I believe what my sister said she saw. The next morning, my dad, my brother, and my uncle drove us back to Kentucky. We took the other route. We haven't been back to South Carolina since, and sometimes in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, I'll text my sister and ask her, does she still think about that night? So y'all, that's the end of that story time. That's crazy. What's even crazier is Charleston, South Carolina and Savannah is definitely haunted, okay? Like really, really haunted. I have experienced some things when I went to Charleston, South Carolina, okay? Like unexplained things. I have never been to Savannah, okay? And I've been invited there numerous times, and I declined to go because of what I know about Savannah. Now, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful places, okay? I know a lot of people that live in both states, but these states, they got history. And if you know your history, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, certain parts of the town is when the sun go down, you don't need to be there. In certain parts of the town, there's some things lingering in the nighttime. So yeah, y'all. If you like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments. Have you ever experienced anything like this? Because I really feel like that was crazy. I am a believer, and you know, if you ever experienced some weird shit like this, where you driving at night and you drove into some shit that looked like a whole nother motherfucking world, write it in the comments and let's hear about it. So if you ain't like this story time, I don't give a damn, but hit that like button. Shout out to Kat. Shout out to the KKG. I appreciate y'all, KKG family members and loyal viewers, silent viewers. I want to thank y'all for always hyping me up, hyping my story times up, supporting me. All them hypes. YouTube sent me a nice little gift, and I wanted to open it on camera with y'all because y'all know we a family and we do this together. Without y'all, I can't get none of this. So YouTube sent me, you know, a little card. It's a limited edition. This is the box that it came in. We gonna open this up. Gonna open this baby up. So I got me a personal, we got a little personal YouTube clapperboard, okay? Thank you to YouTube for that, okay? And I got like a little marker where I could write on it. Okay, I could write my channel name on the clapperboard. Y'all see that? It's just so cute. Okay? This is mad cute. So this is what we're gonna do. Wherever you at in this crazy ass world, because this world is crazy. I just heard Kat's story, okay? Go into your emails or your texts, and you're gonna send somebody an email or a text. They're gonna respond. Maybe right away or the next day or whenever. They're gonna respond. And they're gonna be like, don't forget what? You're gonna respond and say, don't forget to tell a friend 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 to tell another motherfucking friend that Mrs. Kane is on a motherfucking tube. Peace. I love y'all. And y'all be safe out there. And that's a wrap. We gotta use our clapper, okay? That's a wrap. That's the end of this video. And we're gonna use our new clapper, okay?
Texting all day and night, huh? She played them typing games, huh? See me, I don't do that shit. Get up.